Okay, welcome to Who's Gonna Tell Her podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Cece.
And I am V.
And this is where we get real about the highs, the lows, the holy crap, no one told me about this moments of womanhood. Today we're diving deep into postpartum, the season that's supposed to be all about baby snuggles, magical bonding, and for so many moms it feels more like exhaustion, identity loss, and wondering when you'll ever feel like yourself again.
Yeah. And postpartum is beautiful, right? It can be so brutal, but it is a really, really, really beautiful. What the fuck?
I'm laughing because beautiful where? I'm trying to find it, but yes.
Right.
Overall.
No, it is beautiful, right? You're having a baby. But then no one really prepares you for the aftermath, right? The possibility of postpartum. Not the doctors, not those baby books that you get, not other moms. It's almost like they get amnesia, right? And they kind of, don't just want to forget about it and go on with being a mom. And not the perfect Instagram posts, right? Everybody sees them. There's everybody snapping back and getting into motherhood so quickly, right? They got their bundle of joy and they're ready to be, be the world's greatest mom. So today we're going to be talking about what really happens after you have a baby, and why it's so hard to kind of get acclimated back into who you were, and how we can give ourselves more grace through that, because it is a wild transition, right? So if you're in the trenches or, just kind of
having a hard time,
right? Having a hard time, or still processing what you went through, we are with you. And
we're here.
This episode is definitely for you.
So tune in. So I feel like there is an unfiltered reality of postpartum. And it's nothing like we expected. Like you said, there's no manual. There's no one telling you what it's really like, what you're getting ready to experience. And I think oftentimes people think that postpartum is you wanting to hurt yourself or hurt your baby.
For sure.
And it's not that.
It's not.
I mean, it could be.
No, for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like, not to take away from, the more intense, more serious postpartum episodes or, experiences. But usually when you hear about postpartum, it's this new mother tried to, kill their baby or something horrific that it doesn't really make sense in your head. Like you're like, wow.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. Right?
Yeah.
That's kind of like the public's opinion about it. So yeah, for sure. I agree.
Yeah. And I think that it's such a taboo topic that not enough people are talking about postpartum.
Absolutely.
And kind of like what it entails.
Right.
And I mean, like, I don't know. I think even the pregnancy, the birth, like, I think you could experience postpartum. I know it's like supposed to be like postpartum, so like after birth, but I think you could experience it kind of before too.
For sure.
Like even during the pregnancy but definitely after. I think we are conditioned to be prepared for the birth and like the pregnancy itself. But no one talks about the aftermath of things.
Right.
You're caring for a newborn after birth 24/7. There's no instruction manual. It's like, good luck. Like,
right. Right. I agree.
Call us when
call us for their first birthday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or call us when, we're able to come over and see the baby. And girl, that's another thing. How soon did you have people calling you to
my situation
come
was
see
different.
the baby after Sincere?
My situation was different. I think that people see my situation was different because we actually moved back to family when I was 10 months pregnant.
Right.
Ryan was kind of like, we need help, so but so I had people in there. We had gotten a pretty big, hospital, which was like a hotel. We got like one of those suites because I just had a lot of family around.
Yeah.
So, and the friends that I do have, I have a lot of close friends and family. Well, not a lot, but a select few, but they are like family is what I'm trying to say. And, they were in literally before Sincere, my firstborn, got out of ICU. They were there waiting for him. They were in the room with me, which, honest to God,
that would piss me off. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You didn't feel like that?
It was the opposite for me.
No shade to the family.
No.
Shade.
It's our family. It's our family.
To thee / our family.
But no, it didn't piss me off.
Really?
It actually had the opposite effect. I felt, because I didn't feel seen. It's like all of a sudden this child came out and everybody's like the baby, and they were just there for me. They were staying for me. It's what it felt like, right? They were like, my grandparents were there. My friends from work were there. My friends from school were there. Like the best friends I have and things like that. So it was cool. I really, really, really appreciated getting the suite. At the time, I was just like, I need to be comfortable. And if you're, it was a blessing to get it. If you have that ability where you can kind of make yourself comfortable, do it. Do everything you can for yourself in that moment.
That's crazy because you have like a small, like during the pregnancy, I don't know. I feel like do you feel like people are focused on you or they're more focused on the baby?
Well, it definitely felt like they were focused on me. My husband has never been I've never felt him be so attentive than when I was pregnant with my firstborn. Like, it was like I was on his radar. Like, I was his child. I became his firstborn. Like, aww. It didn't matter where I was, he could sense me. Like, everybody was telling me around us, like my parents, our family, they were like, you, like, from the time you wake up, you could be upstairs and Ryan don't know, like, she's up, like, so it definitely switched. And I do think that probably played into my postpartum, because I did, suffer from postpartum myself. So
same.
I definitely
That's why we're here.
Yeah, for
Unfortunately.
Sure. But having those people, the people that loved me in the room after the baby was born, before the baby actually, like, because and we'll talk about that in a little bit, but yeah, I did not even see my child. So it just felt good having them there, even though I wasn't, I was miserable. I didn't want to talk to anybody. At least that's what I was giving off, but I did appreciate them being there and just hanging around.
If they knew that and respected that, that's also really great too, because there's some family members who just don't understand those boundaries, and it's like, right, are you getting the contractions? Are you getting, like, are you laying in this bed? Are you like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm tired of eating ice chips. I can't eat no food. Like, I don't want to talk. And I don't know. I feel like my family definitely, well, our family.
Right.
But we lived in two different states at the time of our pregnancies. Right. So I had the opposite experience. I didn't experience anybody there except for me and
I came around after.
You did. You did. I ain't gonna lie. But it's like, nobody was really, that's different. I didn't expect anybody to like fly out.
Yeah.
What was that? Fly out and be there. And I was kind of glad about that, because I really didn't want nobody else in the room with me.
I want to say, like, honestly, if I would have had the normal room, I probably would have been annoyed,
because it's smaller.
It was smaller, and this room was like the biggest room that they had. We were lucky enough to have it, and it was like, it was like a living room. Like it was like a hotel suite. So like honestly, I had my bed
Work. Mm-hmm.
and my husband had, a bed next to us. And then there was like, the
Like a little
nurses
couch.
station situation or
Right.
like a place for the nurse to like wash their hands, get all their, do their stuff. And then there was an entire living room with couches. And then there was the bathroom. So my family was like away from me, sitting on the couch, just like hanging out, watching
Okay,
TV
so you had
and
space
talking. It
from
was
them.
space.
Okay, that's good.
But on the
Okay.
second go around, it wasn't a planned C-section or a planned delivery. So we did not have the opportunity. Like they were both taken. It was the same hospital, but I couldn't get it. It was a great room. It was nothing wrong with it. That hospital actually just did a renovation, so it was good, and they actually had nice birthing suites for the moms. But it was a lot smaller, and I was like out now. Like I was like, let's get out of here because it just felt like everybody would be either on Ryan's, like the couch
On top
that they
of each
had was
other.
right next to the second bed.
Yeah.
For him, and then it was like my hospital bed. So
That's
it just felt like a
interesting.
lot.
I didn't know that.
So I would say that's why I was like, if you have the opportunity to, which unfortunately, and it makes sense, but it is just what happens. You really can't reserve those rooms until you're like
Until you're there.
they're going through,
Yeah.
because they don't know if you're going through birth,
Yeah,
if you're
for
actually
sure.
going to happen. So
For
yeah.
sure. But I think a lot of moms are just blindsided
For
by
sure.
the intensity of postpartum. Like
I
it's like,
agree.
you have the physical recovery, whether you have a vaginal delivery or a C-section.
And that, right? There's like that whole society thing with that, because I remember looking on social media and seeing somebody I knew kind of like bashing C-sections right after I had one. And I felt like, yeah,
shaming.
it was like, yeah, it was like
hate-
you weren't woman enough to have to push the baby out. And I was so, I was actually surprised by how like,
I know,
taken
like
back I
I've
was.
seen that before, and I'm just like, oh, people actually feel like that. Like that's wild to me, because I know there
Right.
are mothers who have C-sections by choice, but there are a lot of us who, like both of us, like we didn't choose to have
Totally
a C-section,
different plan.
like a totally different plan.
Correct.
And my whole pregnancy, I was like, I don't want to have a C-section. Like that was like
Me too.
the
For both of them.
last resort for
Right.
me. I was like, I'm not doing it. I don't want to do it. Like I just want to have like a, regular delivery. And it's like, I think we have to also remind ourselves as C-section moms that it's not that our body like failed us,
No, not at all. It's that them kids were too big.
But when you exactly
Not all the time, but yeah.
big ass kids. No, but I think that in postpartum, when you're in the thick of it, it's so easy to feel like that, because I felt like that. I was just like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? Like I can't even like deliver vaginally. Like what the like, it was a lot. It was a lot.
It's funny that you say that, because that's not something that actually came up for me, like that I was able to identify. It was just like inherently a feeling. Like I felt like I failed. Like I had this entire plan. I was going to give birth.
Vaginally.
No, I wanted to give, vaginally, but in water with a doula. Like I had this whole thing, like this whole spiritual, like
I could so see you
I know
doing
you
like
could.
a water birth.
I had my doula on standby.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that I could bring a tank in the hospital. Like it was planned. Like I was going to be with my spirit and nature and God.
I settled on that for a whole 5 minutes, and then I was
no.
like, no, I'm not doing a water birth. I actually
Really?
need epidural.
Well, I didn't labor the first time.
What do you mean?
I did not labor. We went for the last, when you go to get that last measurement.
Yeah.
And they walked out the room. I think they do this to everybody. The ultrasounders like walked out the room, and they're like, we have the doctor on the phone when they came back. And I was like, why? Why? Why do you have the doctor?
Yeah.
And they were like, Sincere was a big baby, and I am a petite, person. And the doctor was like, we're going to induce you, but more than likely it's going to lead to a C-section. So we should just do the C-section. And I was.
But what was the reason for them inducing you? Because he was big, or?
Okay, so I had something called PUPS. Do you know what PUPS is?
No.
So there's two. Okay, so PUPS is something where you kind of like your stomach. I'm just going to speak off of experience. I'm not going to speak off of like
we're not doctors,
we're not
so
doctors.
don't
Just
come for us and be like,
do not
girly
come for
pop.
us.
That's not what PUPS is.
I
Like,
know.
she's speaking off of what she felt. So
This is just my very limited knowledge because I did not prepare to talk about PUPS today. If I would have,
But what was it to you? What was
but
your experience?
It's almost like your stomach, like my stomach got a rash. Like it was a very itchy, like almost like chicken poxy, but not chicken, but like itchy like that.
Got it.
And I think that also my hands and my feet. But it was my stomach. I remember I was in hell for like 2 weeks and I was like, oh my God, I'm getting this rash all over the place. And we didn't not opt to find out the sex before pregnancy. So after I found out that PUPS is common with your first, like if you're having a boy for the first time, because the hormones are kind of, the boy hormones, and as a woman, they kind of, I don't know if they clash or something, but they can cause PUPS. So I didn't know I was having a boy, but I was just there. And there's another rash that can occur that they were not okay. So they were 99% sure that that it was PUPS, but there was a 1% chance that I had this other condition, and that other condition could stop the baby's heart. So
that's scary.
Yeah. So they were like, we're 99% sure it's PUPS, but there's a 1% chance that it might not be PUPS. So we want to induce you. And then when I went for so that's why I had to get induced. And then when I went for the measurements, they're like, this child is huge. And they were like, you're not, so they're like, we don't want to have to break a collarbone or anything during the delivery.
Giving what waist?
Really? I know. And I was like, what? And I was like, so break his,
collarbone? That's insane.
Or like possibly like just do a C-section. And I was like, it wasn't a hard decision, but it was rough. I was so rough.
Wait, were you considering breaking his collarbone?
No, I wasn't considering
you were.
it, but I was like, why? Like, I think that's like the why me.
Yeah.
I did not sleep the night before. I was crying from the time they told me.
Because you don't anticipate having to make those decisions.
Some people are okay with it. Like, and there's nothing wrong. I'm just not built that way. Like,
to like break that? Yeah, I would not.
I'm not good with any surgeries, honestly. Like, I have nothing against it, but the reason why I have not, I'm not really one for like plastic surgery or things like that. It's nothing against it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, I know. What a shame. But it's just that the idea of like, it's intrusive to me. Yeah. I can't grasp it. Like, it's really hard for me because I'm not like, I have no qualms with, I'm like, yeah, do it. But it's just the idea of the intrusiveness that I can't do. So it's not that I'm judgy about it. It's that I'm like, damn, I can't. I can't do it. So the whole idea of them cutting me open to get the baby was what like kind of spun, I think really started spinning me. So I spiraled. From the time that doctor came into that room, I was crying the whole way home. I cried the whole night. I did not go to sleep. I was bouncing on that ball crying.
Girl, the ball bounce. I don't know if that did anything. In my mind, maybe it did, but
I think it did.
I don't know. I would bounce on that ball.
I cried in the shower the next morning. I cried down the stairs in the car on the way. I was listening to soppy music. I was crying.
Do you think that was the start
of my postpartum?
Yeah.
So this is wild because you mentioned it, right? You mentioned that postpartum doesn't necessarily happen after pregnancy. And for me, I swear it happened when I was like 10 months in. When did we? Yeah, 10 months in, I want to say. That's when I actually realized something, like when I kind of started getting the gist that something was going on.
Something was up, yeah.
I remember looking at myself in the mirror like after we had moved closer to, to family. I remember looking at myself in the mirror and not recognizing myself. Right? Like I had
that same moment, but after birth. So Yeah, so I also, as you know, had a C-section, and it was just it was a whirlwind of an experience. Like, it was just, I had planned for none of it. I thought, oh my gosh, because I had such an easy pregnancy. When I tell you in my first trimester, and I'm not even trying to brag, maybe a little bit, but I did not vomit. I did not feel, I felt nausea, but on a very small scale. Like, it was just the easiest pregnancy.
Wow.
The third trimester is obviously, I think everybody feels the same. Like, you just feel like the heaviness of the baby and your pelvic. Like, it's the third trimester is the worst.
For me, it was
I
the
think
first.
it was the best.
It was the first. It was
Oh, it was
worst
the
for me.
first?
I was
Oh.
sick every day into the second trimester. By the time I get to the third
That
trimester,
wasn't me.
by the time
I
I
didn't
got to
feel
the third, I was
nothing.
like, thank God I'm not like nauseous every
I
single
was just
day.
really tired and really lethargic the first trimester. Like, I would sleep
Really?
for hours. Yeah, I was just really, because I think like my body was trying to adjust. But the third trimester, girl, was the worst for me because like I could barely walk. I
Right.
felt so much like discomfort in the pelvic area. But anyways, I went for a stress test. You know how they do the stress test at the end. And
I don't-
no, you didn't get a stress test? You
I
didn't even
really-
get there.
Remember we had this talk a couple of days ago
Yeah.
on the phone, and I was telling you that that they had to like beg me to come into the office to do.
Oh, yeah.
So I did
Girl,
not do a stress test.
them weekly appointments were
No,
trash.
Trash.
Cause like, what's different from last week?
I mean,
What's different that you're gonna find this week from last week?
I was like,
girl,
nothing's gonna like, I don't know. But I was bad with that. And I do think that now not being pregnant, V, I'm saying go to those appointments. Go to the appointments
yeah.
and make sure something like everything's okay. But for me, it was like pulling teeth getting me to go into that doctor's
That's so
appointment.
funny. We were talking about that the other day.
We were. I was like, they were like calling me like, you missed your appointment. I was like,
catch me next week.
same time,
Right.
same day of the week.
No, but girl, I went for a stress test, you know, not thinking anything of it. And they did it, and it was like towards the end of my appointment, and they were like, hey, girly pop, by the way, the baby is low on fluids. So you actually have to stay, and we need to induce you.
I love how they waited to the last minute. I think they are so well. Like,
I feel like they be
side
doing
note-
it on purpose.
No, but side note, they really are. They're good at what they do. I feel like they're trained really good because even with me, like I was having like, I could have possibly, they thought I was bleeding out, like on my second pregnancy, and they were like in the corner, just kind of like hush hush, like smiling at me and like talking, and you're like, okay.
Oh, so you're saying like you felt like they knew. Yeah, like they knew.
They've been new. And they're like, the doctor will be here. And the doctor like walked in. I was like, when did you call her? Like, what is going on? So they're very good at that, at waiting till the last minute. Okay, carry on.
Girl,
I just wanted to give them their
was like, I was like,
What
you
you
know,
mean?
like when Beyonce won the Grammy for Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, and she was like,
Yeah.
that's how I felt. I was like,
Ooh.
me, low on fluids. I need to stay. Girl, you see me. I have a small bag. I'm not ready for this. Can I go home and like get my stuff and like.
But side note, they do say have a bag. Did you have a bag?
No, but it was the stress test. It was a stress
that?
test.
When was that?
I mean, it was like towards the end, but it wasn't. It wasn't like a. There was no bring a bag because you might
but you
get
know,
induced.
they say like at the last month, I think, or in the third trimester, you should
like
just pack
a bag.
Yeah.
I know, and I did have a bag packed, but I didn't
definitely
bring
did
it to
not,
the
ever.
appointment. I'm just like, y'all are really blindsiding me right now, you know.
Yeah.
So luckily, I was able to
That's
go
traumatic.
home. Yeah, it was a little traumatic,
That's
honestly, and it
traumatic.
really happened so fast, and I wasn't able to like really mentally prepare for what was to come. And I also didn't plan for that. So, you know, that happened. I was in the hospital for a week. They tried everything to try to induce me.
A week? A week?
A week.
Admitted? That's
Girl,
wild.
it was a lot.
sorry
It
for
was a
you.
lot. I think in total I was in the hospital for like
A week?
a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks.
Like
I'm
7
not,
days week or
like,
5 days week? It makes a difference.
like a work week.
A work week? Okay, fine. It's still bad.
No, that's reasonable. Yeah.
No, 5 days is bad.
But 5 days is still just as bad. And that whole time I couldn't
What were they
eat.
doing?
They were
that's why
they
he was
were
talking
trying
about
to
the
remember I told you the
ice
ice
chips
chips.
was triggering.
Yeah, it was triggering to me. Ice chips will forever
Oh,
be
no.
triggering to me because they were there and they
For
were
5
trying
days you
to
couldn't eat?
damn near, yeah. They were trying to induce me and they tried everything, girl. They tried putting they try to put the balloon in there. They try to give you Pitocin. Like they tried everything, I
Did they
swear.
make you hug they made me hug something, an egg or a balloon? What is it? I'm so lost.
An egg?
They make
Huh?
you hug something. Yeah, it's like it like kind of opens your legs, but you're like hugging it. Do you know
Like
what
a
I'm talking
pillow?
about? Okay, never mind.
No?
Let's
Okay.
just leave
I'm
it.
not following. I'm sorry. But
It's
yeah,
okay.
girl, everything. And then I was like appropriately dilated. Then they were like, "Oh, it's time to push," and I was like, "Oh my god, thank God! Just please, just like get this baby out of me."
5 days
So
later.
I'm pushing for 4 hours. 4 hours. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I know I'm dramatic.
Never pushed.
I know I'm dramatic, but I'm not kidding. 4 hours. And they're like, "Yeah, girly, this is not going anywhere for you. The baby's too big." And the baby's actually like turned the opposite direction.
The baby's too big because it's been growing for 5 days.
Hello.
I know.
So they were like, yeah, he's turned the opposite direction. So like the best and safest option for you right now is going to be a C-section, or you can keep pushing if you want to, but we can't guarantee that. And at this point I'm like, I'm tired. I'm like, just get him out off of me. Like get him out of me, you know? And then that's how I ended up having C-section. But to answer your question,
Yes.
I know that was like the long.
It's okay.
We took the scenic route with that one. But the first time that I felt like, okay, I am actually experiencing something, I don't know what it is. And I didn't want to categorize it as postpartum because it's such a like taboo thing, like I said, you know, and I don't even want to like speak that over my spirit, you know. Was after I gave birth, girl, and I was in the room and I had a catheter attached to me. Like I couldn't even like, you had to have a catheter attached to you too, because you had a C-section as well. But
I want to say, honestly, I don't remember.
Girl, I remember that catheter.
I don't remember.
And that was the first time I felt like I was in old, because I think of catheters and I think of like old people. Huh?
I feel like they...
I said, it's not my time yet. I don't need to be wearing this.
But not just... Okay,
but
continue.
girl, so as soon as I was able to be mobile, girl, I got up and I went to the bathroom to see like what was it giving? What were the legs, hips, and body giving? Yes. What was the face giving? I knew the face wasn't really giving that much because I had just went through like 5 days of like,
and you wasn't prepared. Like you
wasn't,
terror. Some girls be going prepared. They be
that was never gonna be me.
Me either.
That was never gonna be me.
I was like the way I feel right now.
Yeah.
If don't even bring a lash. I would karate chop that shit.
Listen, Mary J. Blige, take me as I am.
Yeah, take me as I am.
No, for real. So I looked in the mirror and I was just like, I was like, girl, who are you? Like, I don't.
It's wild.
It's so crazy.
It's wild. Maybe they should keep mirrors away from pregnant women. Because mine was in the mirror too. Like, I remember looking at myself and looking in my eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. And I felt like I just I didn't resonate with who I was looking at. I really didn't. I knew it was me, obviously, but I was just like, you are just.
That sunken feeling, like it's like a sunken.
It's like
disappointed feeling. It's like who?
It's like disappointment. It's like all the negative, like disappointment, shame,
and that's real.
Embarrassment. Like my body looks like this, and I don't even got a baby in me no more, so I don't even have an excuse.
The realest thing about it is that everybody expects you to just snap back. Like everybody expects, they're like, the baby's here, now let's go. Like the pregnancy's done, that phase is done. And you too, you're like, all right, you can't, it's time to show up now.
Yeah.
And it's like, who are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
I think for me too, I also had an issue breastfeeding. So I also, that added on top of feeling inadequate and feeling like my body wasn't functioning properly. It was just giving birth was, I love my son, but giving birth was a terrible experience. And I think that is what shies me away from having more children. It really was very traumatic for me. And I think people think I'm being super dramatic when I say that, but it really was. And just not even just a small thing of like not even being able to like breastfeed properly. I remember that same day that I looked in the mirror, shortly after that moment had passed,
I know what you're about to say.
remember just crying and the nurse coming in and being like, it's okay, like it's okay, you know, like I was crying because I was just in. I think this is the same moment where the nurse was like, oh, do you want us to just get formula for the baby? We have formula here. Like, what do you want to do? You know? And I was just like, fine, just get the formula. Like, because obviously, like, I can't do what I'm supposed to do. Can't even give birth properly. Now, titties are also not working properly. So
it's funny that you say that
just
about
do what
the
you have to
breastfeeding, because I could not get breastfeeding down with my first. And it was so weird because I honestly also felt like such a failure. I looked at, like, I was like, I had this child, I had a C-section. Nothing went according to plan at all.
Nothing.
And then he came out. He was big. Sincere was 9.2 pounds.
No.
Girl, Nastasia was 9.10 pounds.
Both big babies.
Big babies.
BJ was like 7 pounds, 14
Girl,
ounces.
you could have pushed that out. I'm joking.
Girl, that's what I'm trying to say. I feel like they coerced me into having a C-section, and it was so annoying.
No, Sincere was, and when I seen Sincere, I was like, and then to think that Nas was bigger, like my Nastasia was
bigger. And it's
bigger.
so funny because she's so small now.
She's
so
they're
tiny.
Both
they're both kind of tiny.
But that's what I hear. I hear like big babies like, end up thin or whatever. But okay, Sincere, both my children, when I gave birth, went straight into ICU. That was traumatic.
That is traumatic.
That was really traumatic because I felt like they took the baby out and I was like, I did all this for what? Like, I didn't even see Sincere. I could not move after Sincere. But I also remember I told you the whole birthing plan and everything like that. I had this whole, I was very into like, you know, holistic food and holistic, you know, food is medicine and things like that. And I was like, this is gold, you know, golden milk. Like, you know, like I am going to give this shot. I was eating better, doing all this stuff. They gave Sincere formula without asking me if they could give him formula. And
is that even legal?
I don't know. It shouldn't be. At the time, you couldn't have.
I feel like that's not allowed. Like, I
was gonna sue them or beat their ass. Like, I was so mad.
Either way, y'all got something
they
coming.
Were like, he kept on crying. He was hungry. When I finally got down to ICU that night, so I gave birth to Sincere 9:00 in the morning, like almost on the dot. It probably is recorded as 9 a.m. I did not see Sincere probably until 10 p.m. that night. And that was traumatic.
That's really traumatic.
Everybody else had seen him. Everybody else, you know, my sister and my mom went with him after he came out to meet Ryan. It was a request that he stayed with me. I was like, when they take the baby, stay with me. But he saw them. My dad saw him. Everybody. My best friend, his godmother, saw him. But when I finally saw Sincere, I was like, all right, I understand why you gave him. Because I was like, he's bigger than my cat. I was like,
9 pounds?
9 pounds.
I was not prepared for you to say that.
He was the biggest baby
I thought
there.
he was going to be like maybe 8 at most.
No.
But 9 pounds?
And even Nas went straight into ICU. And I felt bad because, you know, in ICU. And even,
was it because they were large babies or they actually had issues?
It was C-section. Sincere, they said he had a little bit of fluid in his lungs.
Okay.
But that's from not going through the birth canal, I think.
Yeah.
And then they didn't want to release either. Well, Sincere especially. They didn't want to release because of jaundice. And I was like, give that child to me. I was like,
girl,
stop.
They tried to put that on BJ too.
I was
they
like,
tried
stop.
I'm like, okay, he just came out. How are y'all already jumping to
like,
conclusions
his yellow ass
about?
Over to me.
I was like,
stop.
He don't got no jaundice. He can barely open his eyes. How are you jumping to these conclusions?
Both my children they took, and Nas was literally. I think that I think that I terrorized them. Cause when I tell you, I would call them, cuss them, hang up the phone, pick up, call them, cuss them. Then I was like, I'm going down there.
I would too.
It was nuts. But with Nas, it was a little different. With Nas,
play about your kids.
They were like, well, we're going to release you, but we're not going to release her. I was like, I don't think so.
That's where you had me.
I don't think so.
Look, if you come up, you go straight, you make a left, then you make a right. That's where you had me effed up. Okay, girl. Here, right now. No, you are not releasing me and not my child. Girl,
like, nice try.
Are you okay?
I was like, no. So they released. I honestly, and I love that hospital was a good hospital.
Was it?
It was a good hospital. I would recommend it again, but I did give them hell.
I would too. I would
did
too.
Give them hell, and I left with both times with my children, and they released both them children to me before they said they was going to.
Hello.
But the whole thing was you have a child, you don't have the child there, or you do. Either way, postpartum and just after the birth process does feel isolated.
Yes.
Because you feel like it's weird, right? Because you have this baby, you have this spirit inside of you, and within seconds you went to, like for you, for example, you went for a stress test and you did not expect
it was
your
a
life
stress
to
test
change.
All right.
And my husband said some real shit, right? He was like, when we were going to the hospital the first time, he was like, we're going as 2 and we're coming back as 3. That shit hit me so hard.
Oh, wow.
I was like, and I just started crying.
That's real.
I was like, what the? Because everybody's like, oh, I'm pregnant. I'm having a baby. And then it's like, it really hits you. And it's not like an 18 years thing, like they say. It's like a lifelong thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God. And I just started playing all
But you're so
music.
right, though. I feel like postpartum does definitely feel isolating, and you feel like you are the only one going through what you're going through. And like I was telling you, I didn't want to come to terms with it being postpartum because first I didn't want to even like speak that over me, because I was like, oh, no, like I'm strong. I'm not feeling that. Like I just had a baby, like I'm just going through the motions. Yeah, it's like the tabooness of it. And then just kind of as time went on, I was like, you know what? I definitely am feeling this, so and I had to identify it. Yeah, for sure.
When? At that moment in the hospital?
No. It was like later on. It was definitely like, I want to say at least 6 months after giving birth. I think I went through postpartum. Definitely. I was feeling it a year and a half after giving birth. Like I kind of felt like the journey was really long, but wow. You know how they ask, like, even after you give birth, you're supposed to like go to the doctor. Like I think it's like 1 or 2 doctor's appointments. Yeah. And they give you like those questionnaires. I'm not telling the truth on any of those. So like, and I don't understand how you would have expected me to, because you're not putting me in the loony bin.
Those questionnaires, along with the questionnaires with the pediatrician,
are wild. Yes.
They're like, do you have asbestos in your house? You're like, no, I don't.
Girl, I don't even know what asbestos looks like.
Right. I'm like, I don't think so. Don't take my child away.
Yeah.
But that's when I found out I had postpartum. That's when I actually realized that's what it is.
Okay.
So it's wild.
By answering the questionnaires, or?
Yes.
So you answered honestly on those?
No.
Okay.
But okay, so Ryan went with me to the postpartum. The postpartum visit, right? And they give you the questionnaire. And then so 2 steps back, I was losing sleep because as soon as Sincere came out, I got a serious, like, I don't know, I was just petrified of death. Like I was like, I might die. I all of a sudden never thought about death before. Like it was like something, when I say never thought about it, it was going to happen. What's the point of harping on it? Like it's a part of life. We were born, we're on our way to death.
Did you think you were like in a Final Destination movie? Like everything was
Every single second.
Oh, that's
Like I'd be
scary.
driving. I used to work in South Beach,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like a 30-minute drive. Oh, not South Beach, downtown at the time, and downtown Miami at the time.
Hello.
And hello. um and every time I'd be on the 95, I was like, if that car just turns, into my lane, I might die. And then what's gonna happen to Sincere? And I'd be like, what if I go to sleep and don't wake up? What if I eat this and I choke? Like and it was like
That has to be like incredibly exhausting.
so
To
bad.
to always like everything you see and everything you experience you associated with death.
Yeah, and I want to say
Was it a lot?
It was a lot, but I want to give my flowers to my husband, like right now, because I appreciate you, like honestly, because honest to God, he was staying up with the baby because I was going through it. And then he was staying up with me because I was going through it. I was like, I can't sleep. I'm afraid I won't wake up. And he was like, he just put the baby down 3:00 in the morning. And he was like, all right, let's meditate. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, I might not wake up. I'm like, what happens after death? What happens after that? Nothing happens. Like I was going through it. And when it came time for that postpartum visit with the doctor, I answered everything. My answers were true.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, no. And then
because because
the
again
answers, they weren't asking for what was happening. They were not. And then Ryan was sitting there because he went to all the the pre-visits, the visits, like he was there for it all. And he was, as she was about to leave, Ryan was like, you're not gonna bring up the thing? And I could have killed him. I could have killed him.
Why are you here and not in the waiting room?
It looks could kill. And I was like, what thing?
No, but I feel like he needed to, like, you weren't going to say that.
I was not.
You weren't going to admit that.
I was not. And I was looking at him like, dummy. Like, that's not what they asked.
Thanks for exposing me.
I was like, okay, what this dumbass is talking about is, and I told her, I was like, I'm scared that I'm going to die like every second. And she was like, oh.
You're experiencing postpartum.
Tell me more. And I was like, it's nothing. I just can't sleep at night because I think I'm going to die. And she's like, yeah. So they had a little chat in the hallway that day. And I heard her say to him, like, if this continues to happen, call me. Call the office after hours. Do whatever. We need to monitor it. And I was like, what's going on? And he was like, it's a sign of postpartum. And she had also explained to me, she's like, postpartum shows in different ways. And I was so against it because of the taboo.
Yes.
Right?
And you don't want to
kill the baby. I was like, I don't want to have.
Yes. And then you think those thoughts like,
nothing's
okay,
wrong with me.
Nothing's wrong with me. I'm not feeling like I want to hurt myself or harm my baby or unalive myself. Like,
unalive me, unalive you.
Unalive you. Yeah.
Right,
I'm not thinking those thoughts. So I can't have postpartum, you know, and it's such an umbrella term. You don't know that you're in it until you're in it.
And we can get into that about all the women terms and all the things that we experience as women that just kind of gets like, kind of thrown, to the side. But postpartum there's so much shame attached to it.
So much shame.
That I think that so many times it goes diagnosed or misdiagnosed.
And that's why you don't want to admit it to yourself either, because you feel like a little bit of shame. Like,
but I really appreciate that it wasn't my doctor. It was actually like the nurse practitioner, the ones that are working underneath them that you don't really see your doctor that much when you're going to those visits. But shout out to her because she literally was like, no, it's fine. And we're going to address it. And Ryan I think he had her cell phone number. And he was like, do I need to call the doctor? Do I need this? And when she said it and my anger subsided, my emotions subsided, I was like, okay. I was actually relieved a little bit now 2 children out, tubes not tied, but done.
Your tubes aren't tied?
No. And my doctor was like, why didn't you tell me to tie these tubes? I was like, because I didn't think we was going to be doing a C-section again. But
Which,
No.
by the way, like, why can't they just go in there and just
But men
remove,
can do
like,
it faster and easier. So
no, but I'm saying, like, why,
we've been through enough.
if we've been through enough, absolutely, first and foremost, but why, while you are down there, why can't you just take whatever fat I have and
Ooh, yes.
remove it?
Yes,
I don't
yes.
get that.
And you know what? They always say, like, oh, your cut is
Why
such
can't
a
I
good
walk
cut.
away?
I'm like,
Right, and I'm like,
no cut is a good cut.
Are we looking at the same thing?
Are we looking at the same thing? Because did you see my body before this?
Girl,
Yeah, I know.
cut
I
done
know.
keloided and everything.
Girl.
Like, yes, it looks so much better now.
It
but
does. No, it's
it takes
fine.
time.
But if you're gonna get a procedure, like I said, like I don't like procedures, but if I was gonna get one, I would have got the best one by the best doctor.
Can I just walk out of this hospital with a
walk
flat
out?
tummy? Like, can I just
Can you
have one
just
less thing to worry
mommy
about? I
makeover
don't
me?
understand. Do y'all hate me?
It's rough.
Do y'all
It
hate
honestly,
me?
It honestly is rough. And I will say I relate more to the C-section moms because it is like, remember, like even us, we're like, let me see your scar.
Oh, yeah.
Let me see it. You know, there's this difference, you know, and my best friend, she had both. And I remember when she had the first one naturally, I related more to her after the second one. And it wasn't even intentionally, but it was like after I was like, let me see. Let me see it. And that's the thing. I feel like people don't talk about that. They're like, oh yeah, you had a baby, you had a C-section.
And I feel like you're supposed to, if we are kind of just looking at the influence from social media, I feel like you're supposed to, the right thing to do is to like romanticize birth and motherhood. And honestly, I didn't feel like that. I loved my baby. I was definitely in the baby bliss.
I was not okay with any of it.
But I was like, oh my gosh, this is
Either
so,
child.
like, all of this is too much.
I know.
It's too much.
It's a lot. I think that society as a whole is an issue with it, right? Because it's like, you're a woman, you're supposed to have a baby. Like, it's naturally, they did it for years back. Like, what's the problem?
Yeah.
You look at other cultures and there's people with, you know, having a child grabbing their leg and a belly, you know, a big belly, and they're walking, you know, like to go to the market or things like that. And they're like, oh, but the problem is, at least here, at least what I felt, it's like, it's just assumed that like this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. And
You
that's
know?
the word, what you're supposed to do.
And that's fine, but like nobody puts the same attention or the same emphasis on what I'm going through. Do you know what I'm saying?
And I think a lot of people, especially
hush, hush.
family, I will say, they are more focused on the baby
newborn.
than,
Understandably, I guess.
and they're more focused on the baby than they are you. Like, I cannot tell you, I feel like it was always an afterthought. It was always like, oh,
Right.
Where's the baby? I want to see the baby. And it's like, I get it. But also, ask me how I'm doing. Like, ask me how I'm doing. I just went through this traumatic experience. I know you meant for that to be sexy. But it wasn't sexy. No, but I know that it's natural to be excited about the baby, but ask me how I'm doing. Like, and I always try to carry that whenever I am in the midst of a new mom who just gave birth. I'm always just, thank you. I'm always like, oh my God, you know, she's so cute, or baby's so cute. But like, how are you doing, sis?
Same.
Like,
I think I was like that with you, especially.
You
I
were.
was really worried
Actually,
about
you were. You were.
I remember when I had just had Nas. And we were in Orlando at that water, you know, resort thing. And you were like, I'm ready to have kids. And I was like, do you remember? I was like, okay. I'm like, all right, I love that for you, but it sucks. But I love that for you. But it's rewarding. But it sucks. And I was like, are you sure?
It sucks.
And I was like, all right, just, you know, get married. Live your life.
Yeah.
Like, whatever. And then you were like, you were pregnant. And I was like, yay. And I was supportive. And then after, I was like,
I think I did tell you, like, I think before you even came, I talked to you over the phone, and I
Yeah.
think we did talk a little bit about
I
just
could
how I
tell.
was feeling. Yeah, and you
You
could
didn't
tell.
really say much, to be honest.
Mhm.
You kept it very guarded. And I know
Mm.
that. Like, I'm the same
Because
way.
I didn't want
I'm the same
to
way.
I didn't want to come to terms with it.
But I
It
don't
was
know.
so embarrassing for me.
I made it like a point to be like, how are you doing?
You did.
And I
You
was
did.
like,
I will give you that.
and I told you, no, it's not to give it to me, but it's
No,
to
but I
recognize.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
But it's to recognize. And I remember telling you, like, shit's going to get crazy between you and him for a little bit, because having a child, and that's a different episode, but like having a child with somebody, it's an adjustment.
It shakes things up, and I
For
think
sure.
it highlights a lot of the things that maybe haven't been resolved
Like,
in a couple.
I totally understand when people are pregnant and they break up, or people are
girl, me
Yes.
too.
Or
I
people
totally get
after the
that. It's
baby.
hard.
But it's so wild to me that like society is like, how could they just break up after? I'm like, cuz that is the biggest test.
When people say stuff about postpartum or just being a parent in general, like my first thought is, well, do you have kids? Because if you don't have kids, you don't need to be speaking on something that you
Yeah.
don't understand or that you don't know.
Right.
And I will read somebody down for
Right.
that. Don't let your answer be no.
Right.
You better make pretend you got kids. You better lie and say you got kids, because you don't understand what's coming. Because
Right.
like, what are you talking about? Are you fine? Are you well? You're not even like saying anything based off of any type of experience, you know? So I think
But I
that
do think you do need to. I think society as a whole needs to consider the mom.
the mom, I think
And that's
so
what I
too.
was trying to do with you. It was like I had just, I do feel, as much as I feel like we're always the same age.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when you were there, and I felt like big sister, little sister, when we were at that
Aw.
park, and you were like looking at Nas, and you're like, I'm ready. And I was like, bitch. I know she's cute, but
Oh, girl, you don't want these
but you love life like I love life. But and I was worried about you. And I don't know, we just always had that connection, like that
No, we
special
did.
spiritual connection.
No, for sure.
And I like, I love BJ to death. That is my nephew.
He alive.
I love BJ. He is the cutest thing. But I was like, how are you?
Yeah.
And
You
Brandon,
did. I
yeah.
feel like you made it about me.
I think I even came upstairs by myself. I was
You
like,
did.
Ryan,
You
I was
were-
like,
yeah.
I told Ryan, I was like, Ryan, stay down here.
I have
when
to
I came for your
go.
stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you remember me saying, how are you?
Yes.
I was like, how
Specifically,
are you going?
I remember.
And I think as society, we need to remember that, like, it's not just the baby. Like, we're not cows. It's not about drinking the milk.
Hello.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that. And just asking
Yeah.
if you're like, just doing a temperature check, which you are very good at, but just kind
Thank
of,
you.
you're welcome. Just kind of asking a mom, like, are you okay? That does wonders.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's like, I'm seen.
And
You know
I
what I'm
notice
saying?
it every time. Every time somebody does it, I
Yeah, no,
notice it
for
every
sure.
time.
Me too. I'm
you
like,
know?
it always like kind of stops me in my tracks. I'm like, how am
Me
I?
too. Me
'Cause
too.
it at the smallest and the most impactful, it's reminding you to check in with yourself.
And you're so focused on people putting the focus on the baby that you're
Right.
not even prepared to answer the question
I
when
know.
somebody asks, like, oh, how are you?
But it stays, right? Because even
It does.
Like that night when you're in the shower, you're like, how the fuck am I?
Yeah. You definitely
like,
play it back
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure.
yeah,
It
yeah.
sticks, And I think also when people say, like, I know that people have good intentions, and I think a lot of this comes from like close family and friends, but when they're like, oh, well, let me know if you need anything.
It's just
like,
overwhelming. That's all it is. It's like you have a family
yeah,
of 20,
actually,
and
come
all of
over
them have their
and
little
watch
piece.
the baby during the night
Take
so
him for
I
the
can
weekend.
sleep. Take him for the weekend.
Which
Do
your
you
mom is
even?
good at. Your mom is good
No,
at.
no.
she's
Yeah.
good at.
Like my mom
she's
is
good at.
the greatest grandma.
Thank
but
God
like,
you moved from LA.
I know. Even though I miss LA.
I know, but it's okay.
But
you don't really miss LA.
No, I do.
No, but when you can't get away from Brandon, BJ,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, I wish I was in Florida.
That's the only thing. Yeah. That's the one thing. Let me
Same
hit
here.
the lotto and I'm like,
You coming to LA with
I'm
me?
gone. I'm gone, girl. And I think you do also feel guilty for what was that? Things are flying here, folks. I can't with you. No, but you do feel guilty for like even feeling like that in the first place sometimes. And it's just very overwhelming. You miss pre-baby life. You're kind of like, all right,
Even
I'm
your
so
body,
ready
like,
to like, yes.
Even your body, just talking about your body, it's like, I can eat what I want because no matter what I eat, this belly
That
is going to look bigger
girl,
than the rest of my body.
when I tell you that was my favorite thing about pregnancy.
Me too.
I was like, oh, a Big Mac? It ain't no problem.
This
It ain't no
child- this
problem.
child-
Right. Like, you're not going to see that nowhere because my
No.
belly is big, you know?
It's so big that everything else looks small.
Exactly.
So yeah, there's all
exactly.
of that. And then the baby comes, right? And nobody kind of sets you up for that either, right? Your husband or partner,
They're dealing
or
with their own
family
stuff,
or
yeah.
whatever are dealing with it. And then what shared your body, right? This child that you were sharing that's a whole nother episode, right? The way that you feel. I felt my children distinctively
Mm-hmm.
in each pregnancy. And it's wild, and I haven't really come to terms with or really internalize the fact that I felt their personalities in them, because people are like, yeah, with this child I was eating sweets and then they came out and they like sweets, and then with this child I came out and I was eating all salty food and they love. I felt my kids, spirits in each pregnancy. But it's like, then on top of it, you have this child that's completely, totally, 1000% dependent on you. And you have to selflessly be there for them.
Yeah. And also grieve
and nobody's there for you.
And
not even yourself.
girl.
Not even you. And this whole time it was just
Ooh,
you.
Talk
and
about
men don't understand it. They're like, you're a mother. You're a mother.
Talk about
like,
it.
But it's like, do you realize like what would happen if like you kind of shot out and then like this person appeared and like their whole existence was dependent on you?
It's so many
we're
things.
Like, we'll cook dinner for you. We'll make sure the bath is warm. Like it's
so many things to process at the same time. You're also trying to trying to exist, but you're also trying to grieve your old self and also find out who this new person is. It's like you're straddling the fence of identity. It's just like you're kind of in limbo. Like you're kind of just like floating. You don't have a sense of who you are currently, and you're also trying to let go of who you were. And
because pregnancy is weird, right? Like it's happening. You got to catch up.
You got to catch up.
And like as it's happening, like you're trying to keep up, and your old self is existing with this new self, which is existing with this mother, this whole like, like to somebody totally, somebody totally separate that was inside of you that's now outside of you. It's like a mind fuck.
Yeah, completely.
And they're like, it's normal. But you're like,
in what world?
And you're like, okay, if it's normal, tell me how to maneuver it. But everybody's like,
nobody has the answer. Nobody has the cheat code.
Like breastfeeding. Like going back to breastfeeding. I could not breastfeed sincere.
Girl.
And I thought it was like, it really played into my postpartum. I was like, why do I have to wake up every 3 hours? I haven't even brushed my teeth.
You're sleep deprived.
I haven't taken a shower. Like I'm sleep deprived. I haven't even checked in with myself. Why do
and you feel bad about it. You feel bad about
like
letting yourself go. Yeah. Yeah. You feel so bad about it.
And then you got the friends that mean well that are like, let's do a brunch.
And I'm like,
and you're like, but my shoes don't even fucking fit my feet.
Oh my gosh. Yes. It's like, I appreciate the intention, girly, but I don't even have an outfit that would fit for brunch. Like nothing is right in the world. The clothes don't fit. Right. The shoes don't fit. My hair is a mess. My face is fat. I'm still trying to get rid of like the fluids in my body. after giving birth.
Fat.
Fat. No.
No, because they're like, it's baby weight.
Yeah.
It's fat.
No. But no, I'm serious. Like the fluids, like after coming home from a C-section, like my feet were swollen. Everything was
Really?
swollen. Yeah, girl.
I don't know.
Everything was swollen. Yeah. It was just like.
I had two different experiences. With Sincere, and I will say this. With Sincere, it was rough. I could not get out of bed for a week. With Nas, I guess I was
Easy
already
peasy.
a mother.
They always say the second one is easier.
Nas, and it was a girl.
I guess that's true.
I think it's because it was a girl. Like that's what I
Maybe.
put it up to.
Maybe.
So how did you know that you were out of postpartum? What did you like?
So
Did you
that's
have
a
to do
great
something?
question. So
'Cause
I
I
had
was
to,
different. Like I didn't.
yeah, so I definitely had to manually pull myself out. Like I didn't
Oh,
go to
okay.
therapy. I didn't do none of the things. It just really just took time, but I definitely had to, there was like a exercise that I did and it kind of sounds dumb,
Really?
but it really worked. Not a physical exercise, but like just a mental one. And so what I did is
For me, it was a little different.
okay.
For me, it was like it just kind of happened.
Oh, it just kind of happened.
Yeah, like for me, I was driving home on a 95 and it's so weird. When you were in postpartum, did you feel like you weren't yourself?
Yes. I
And
had no
but
identity
you
and I
didn't
feel like I
even,
was dissociating the whole time.
so that was what I was feeling. But then I was driving home from work on the 95 and then all of a sudden, it was in the middle of a song, me singing a song on the way home. And I remember being like, hello, bitch, where you been?
Right.
I honestly
like,
was
oh, we're
like,
so
hey,
back.
we're back. I was like, we outside. Like,
Call
I
the
was
chiropractor. Back,
I called my husband and I was like, I'm back. And he knew. That's a beautiful thing.
Oh, that
But
is a
like
beautiful
he knew.
thing.
So I will say this. If you're going through postpartum and I know how it feels like nobody understands you. It is a form of depression.
It is.
For sure.
It is. It is.
And it's not really given the same amount of attention and resources that it needs to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to kill my support group most of the time, but have a support group.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, I am back. And it was so weird. It was like this veil was
That's
lifted
like
from me.
lifted. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It was not. And I am one of the lucky ones. And I say that because, I did not have to work my way out of it. But that's kind of how I go through everything in life. I'm like, okay, this is happening. Let's just put it in this back pocket.
Mm-hmm.
But it came out and it was like, we're done. And I was like, okay, I've been ready.
So you had a poof moment.
I had a poof moment on the 95.
Wow, love that for you. Can't say the same.
Of the Sawgrass. I can tell you.
Wow.
I can tell you exactly where it was. The 595 and the Florida Turnpike. But I literally
don't let them know too much.
I literally called Ryan and I was like, it's done.
Oh, that's that must have been such a beautiful moment. It was crazy.
Moment. And even in my second pregnancy, I did not.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, we're not doing this. This is all flowers and kumbaya. But it was easy like that. But for situations like yours,
girl,
that's not the norm.
No, and I had to. You have to know. You have to identify what you're feeling. Oh, am I babysitting? Okay. Okay. You have to. Oh, that was good. You have to identify what you're feeling, but you also have to. You have to be ready to get out of it. Because I think I was too clouded with just trying to be a mother, trying to be the best mother possible, trying to just like get back to a stable place. And when I was back to a stable place, I was like, you know what? I need to create an identity statement and I need to acknowledge where I am right in this moment and So what I did is, and I told you, I took 2 pieces of paper. I'm a journaler, so I love to journal. I love to write. I love to just like get things off in that way. And so I took 1 piece of paper and I just listed all of the things that I resonated with in that very moment. So I'm a mother, I'm a friend, I'm a daughter, I'm a partner. And it got to some uncomfortable places as well. You know, I was like, okay, I'm fat. You know, no, I really had to like, I had to go there, you know, because I needed to understand where I was to also understand where I wanted to go and where I needed to be. So all of those ugly things I kind of wrote down. Then I took another piece of paper and I just wrote down all of the things that I wanted to be and the woman that I wanted to be and the woman that I wanted to show up as. And I just would look at that every single day. And looking at that every single day, being in constant prayer, just always trying to wake up and just physically, mentally, spiritually be in a positive place. That is what took me out of postpartum. Like I had to like physically be like, okay, girl, I'm ready.
Yeah.
This is the time we need to get back to. And
I think that's powerful.
And I had to be ready for that.
But not a lot of people have that inside of them. You know, that will and that like, let me figure it out for myself. Let me help myself. That's not something that I think naturally occurs, especially in our society. So I think that's amazing that you did that on your own.
Yeah.
And if you don't, I mean, it's not a bad thing if you don't have it. You seek the help for it, right? But it's beautiful that you had that conversation with yourself and that you were able to say, okay, something's not right.
Something's not right. Yeah. I'm very self-aware and, for sure. But I think that if you are a person that's not self-aware, definitely seek help. For sure. It's okay to go to therapy. Right. It's okay to tell your friends like, hey, I'm not all right. It's okay to seek that community and just some friends. Yeah. Cause I feel like they just don't get it. No, they don't get it. Especially if they're not mothers.
Mothers get it. My friend moms get it.
I don't know if all of my friend moms understood. I think they were just like, oh, you know, it's gonna get better. And it's like that. I appreciate the intention behind that, but like that pissed me off because it's just like it doesn't feel like it's gonna get better.
So I only got that from my mom. Like I got that from the older moms. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like the moms that I had a different experience with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The moms that I have, I'm like, bitch. And they're like, I'm gonna send you a bunch of memes.
If one person tells me it's gonna get better, I'm going to lose.
They're like, I'm sorry. And they're like, yeah.
It's rough.
That's what I needed. I needed a yeah.
And I think,
like, oh, you gone through this?
Yeah.
That's what, like, even with us.
I was just going to say, even with us.
Even today, I'm like, I'm overstimulated.
Yeah.
And you're like, what they do? Or the other day with you. You know what I'm saying? It's like recognizing that's making it normal. It's like, that would solve so much. Yeah. Because we're striving always to kind of like, you know, like make, like rise above, right? Rise to that mark. Like, and I think that just normalizing it would do so much.
It's okay to say that you're not okay.
It's really okay. And it doesn't mean that you're this stereotypical kind of, you know, like
the stigma behind it,
that you see in the news. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's okay to be like, this shit sucks.
Yeah. This shit is not fun.
And that's all that it is sometimes. Like, me and my husband have this thing now because they do get overstimulated as well. And they also deal with their own shit. But
they also too have a postpartum.
They do.
Thing. Yeah.
Like right now our thing is just today, like our thing is like, because I'm like, every time you come in the house or you have to do something for these children, you're like, and I'm like, I know that.
Yeah.
I know
like
that
I feel
exhale.
that. Yeah.
Waiting to exhale.
Such a good movie.
Such a good movie.
Yeah. And I think that you have to also give yourself grace, and you have to understand that if you have just had a baby,
Yes.
that it's going to take time. It's not an
Yes, it's an
overnight thing.
adjustment.
It's an adjustment. Like
Yeah.
I promise there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
And I know that's adjacent to saying like, it's going to be okay. It's going to get better. But it really does get better.
No, but the difference with that, because people that say that mean well, the difference is meeting people where they're at.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
with me and you, I was like, you were like, yeah, it's fine. And I was like, how are you? And I was like, I had to let
I
you
definitely
know.
was like, yeah.
You're like, it's fine. I work out. You had just came from working out.
I'm
And I was like,
good.
yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
How are you? And I was like, and I think I told you even between you and Brandon, I was like, at the time, I was like, things are going to be rough between the two of you guys.
Yeah. You said that.
And I was
for
like,
sure.
it's normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's fine. Like, you guys both have a
It's
child.
an adjustment.
It's
like
such
it's
an
a
adjustment.
huge life adjustment, and
It's so
you have
understandable
to
why
be
people get
patient.
divorces.
Yes,
I'm
but
like,
you
yes.
also have to be patient with yourself,
Yeah.
and you have to communicate
Yeah.
and voice that to your partner if you have one. You're doing enough, you are enough, and
For
you
sure.
won't feel like this forever. And I always tell people that, like, you won't feel like this forever. I promise.
Let's go over your exercise, because I think that your exercise was a really good one, and I think that it could help people.
Yeah.
If you're going through postpartum right now, or you kind of are in that, like, I don't know, not here, not there space.
Yeah, like the in between.
Yeah. What did you start with?
You have to, however you want to do this. Like I said, I did this by physically making a list and like taking pen to paper. But
So powerful, by the way.
no, it really is.
Yeah.
But you have to acknowledge where you are. You have to acknowledge where you are. Everything that you resonate
Every
with.
single time.
If you feel ugly,
And that's hard.
if you feel like,
Yeah.
if you live in sweatpants, but you want to be a girly pop who gets up and puts a full face of makeup on, or not even a full face, or maybe just like half a face, or you want to at least like, have a cute fit for the day. Even if you're a stay-at-home mom and you're going to be at home and you won't even see the light of day, like outside, like if that is where you want to be, you have to. Because like I said, to get to where you want to be, you have to recognize.
Right.
You have to understand
100%.
where you are in the present moment.
And the thing with that is, like, if you're going to commit to it, commit. Like, don't half step.
Yeah. You have to commit to
Be
it.
true to
Like,
yourself.
you can
like, for
take,
sure.
like, you can, so the list.
Like, where you're at is where you're at.
Where you're
Like,
at
if
is where
you
you're at,
can't
and that's
come
okay.
to that, you're not ready.
And that's okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. If you cannot be honest with
Yes.
yourself about that,
For sure.
then you need to give yourself more time.
More time.
And you need to
Yeah.
kind of like
Inhale.
backtrack a little bit. Yeah.
Inhale.
You need to backtrack a little bit,
Yes.
and you might be jumping too many
Yeah.
steps ahead. But I think that when you are ready to acknowledge where you are, and you have the clear vision of the person that you want to be, you need to focus. You need to pivot your focus. We need to focus forward now on who you want to be. Who do you want to show up in the world as? Do you want to be a girly who is in the gym 5 days a week? Then we need to take steps to get there.
Yes.
So I made 2 lists. I made a list of like, okay, where am I right now? And then I made a list of who do I want to be? And I focused on that list of like, who do I want to be? I put it on my mirror. So when I'm brushing my teeth, I'm doing my hair,
Put it on your
I'm
mirror,
looking at
put it on
your fridge.
Put it on the door.
Hello,
when you're leaving.
anywhere,
Put it on your dash of your car.
anywhere
put it wherever.
where you are going to be like, any pinpoint where you're going to be constantly like looking at, you need to put it there, and you need to constantly be reminded of that
And
person.
Go all out.
You need to, and you need to commit.
Yeah.
Whether it's, if you, like I said, I'll go back to the example of like being a girly who's in sweats all the time, because I feel like that is a very common mom thing to do. Like, you don't have time to think about what you're going to wear. You don't have time to think about, you really don't, and that's okay. But if that is something that you want to change, then maybe it's as simple as just like laying out an outfit the night before,
For sure.
when you put the baby down.
Yeah.
Babies take like 10 naps a day. So take one of those time
Speak on
slots.
your own kids.
No, that I will say, the infant stage is like
No, not mine.
At least they take naps.
Not mine.
No, mine he definitely
Not
napped,
mine.
and I was like, oh, thank God. But
Mine,
it could be as
mine
simple
were
as
born
that.
in Ibiza.
It could be as simple as
Mine
that.
don't take sleep. Don't take naps.
No, but you know, you have to take small steps, and eventually they won't feel like small steps. They'll feel like, all right, this is coming naturally to me, and you'll just kind of like naturally morph into that person that you want to be. And I found
Right.
myself doing that, and I was like, and that's when I had the
That's insane.
I'm back moment. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
like I'm here, you know?
Right. And that's beautiful in itself, because even though mine was like a poof moment, which thank God,
everybody's
it's
journey is
even-
different.
but still, it's like you brought yourself there. That's
Mhm.
powerful in
Mhm.
itself, to say, look, okay, we're not where we're supposed to be. Let me get to where I want to be. And you worked that out for yourself. That is a beauty. Like that's powerful.
And it took time because I had to let go of who I was. You know, I think like in between that, in that journey, I was trying to hold on to who I was before. I was trying to do the brunch
For
thing.
sure.
I was trying to like
brunch.
get lit at like, you know, and I was
'Cause
trying
they
to
don't
get lit and
understand.
come back and then like have to take care of a baby.
Say
Like,
they understand. Like our friends say they understand.
no, but
they're
they
like,
don't.
We understand you have
No,
kids.
they don't though. If they don't have kids, they don't fully.
They
they're
don't.
they're you can't physically
And
and
that's okay.
spiritually get it, and that's okay.
And that's
There's
okay.
no knock.
The thing with that is, the most important thing is to have grace with yourself while that's happening.
No, for sure.
You want to have grace. You are enough. What's happening is not.
We can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
Like, you are enough. We will say that until we are blue in the face. And I think that you'll look back and you'll realize that even in the hardest moments, you showed up for yourself, you know?
And this is not forever.
And it's not forever.
Like,
and
there's peaks and there's valleys.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
There's other people. Surround yourself with people who are going through the same thing with you. Meet them where they're at. Like, if you can't be real with yourself, you can't be real with someone else. And I think that's what we need as mothers. Like, we need that community.
Yeah.
That's where I found, honestly, like, I found my sweet spot. I was like, oh, like, I have a couple moms that I just found that I'm like, oh,
it's important. It takes a village.
Shit.
Yeah. Not
like,
just for the child, but for you too.
No. And I think that what I will say about that is it might take time to get to that point, and that's okay.
To find your village?
Yeah, because it's like you have to go through it yourself to realize what it like.
Especially if you're
now.
The first mom of
For sure.
like your group, or like, you know what I mean?
No, I wasn't.
I wasn't, but
I wasn't, but I was.
I actually same, because like my friends back home were here in Florida and I was in LA.
Right.
And so my LA friends,
my friends.
I was the
But
I
out
was
of the
first.
family.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Out of the
families,
family.
I was
Yeah.
the first
You
one.
were.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that if you're in the thick of postpartum,
yes,
we see you.
We see
100%.
you.
It's hard. But you're not broken and you're not alone.
Yes.
Because obviously you've heard our stories.
Yes.
Like, we are right there with you. We have had both very different, but almost kind of like
so similar,
same
but
sort
we have
of
our own
like
personalities in it.
yeah,
right? It's
yeah,
like
same but like
personalities,
different fonts, kind of. You know what I mean?
What
So if
font are
today's
you?
I know I'm a Calibri girl, like. But, you know, if today's episode resonated with you, share it with another mom who may need it. And if you are struggling, please reach out for help, for support, for whatever you need. If you have a poof moment like V over here, or if it takes you a little bit longer like me, that's okay. Just take your time. You're doing an incredible job. And even when you don't really feel like you are. Sending you all so much love, and we will see you next time. Cheers. Even though your drink is done and mine is not.